Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. My name is Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive reader. I've got a message for Aquarius today. I have asked my guides and spirit to bring a message through the cards that will be deeply helpful and meaningful for you this week as you navigate what's going on. A little bit different with the way I do readings. I ask for practical advice as well as letting you know what's going on, because I believe that's really valuable to you as you navigate what's going on. So if you're new to the channel, welcome, and you are strongly encouraged to subscribe so that you can benefit from being in contact with this high vibration information and guidance every week as you navigate your spiritual journey. So, and big stuff this week, Aquarius. I am so happy. This reading almost makes me want to cry. It's such a nice reading. So let's get straight into it instead of me just describing it, right? So the energy around you this week, we've got the High Priestess. Now this is a very subtle but strong divine energy. There's a lot of it's like the presence of the other side is very strong with you this week. So you may find that your intuition is high, or that you're having very vivid dreams, or that you just, if you've been working on being sensitive, or if you're just naturally sensitive, you feel the presence of the other side very strongly this week. But this is kind of like an undercurrent of your whole week is going to have this undercurrent. And it's, like I said, it's subtle, it's not in your face, but this is what's driving a lot of the energy around you this week, this very subtle, intuitive, very connected energy, connected to bigger stuff, other side, divine, not just, connected through Facebook. So now, interesting, you respond lovely with the Empress. You are receiving this energy and you're feeling glimmers of hope, is a phrase that they gave me. And you respond well. You feel like you're having just like little bits of success and you're receiving things. And maybe it's also you're so grateful for the information that you're receiving from your intuition and from your guides and from the other side. It's just this really lovely progression of energy from the way you feel to the way the energy is around you to the way you respond. It's very much in harmony. It's very much connected. And it's just big stuff. It's just really big stuff happening this week. These two cards are very, very powerful. And they're not talking about specific people. These are really the energies that you're tapping into and aligning with. So this is all very good. Let's go on the rest of this. Now the advice, or what happens next, is the theme is seeking, searching, journeying. And we're talking really about the spiritual journey, the journey inward. And what I'm seeing is really interesting. We have the Three of Wands on this side, Temperance in the middle, and then we've got the Hermit. And it's almost like these two cards are trying to meet each other. It's like they're seeking each other, they're searching for each other, but they have to go through Temperance first so that they can touch. Now, let me explain a little bit what's going on with this card. Now, this Three of Wands represents that ego self, or the lower self, ourselves, our personality that we see. And the Three of Wands has kind of understood that in order to keep moving forward, you have to keep stepping into these new places. You have to keep seeking for that higher self, and it's taking you into different places that you had no idea you were going to go. So I feel like for some of you, this is like the week where your intuitive abilities suddenly wake up and you're just like, what is happening? It's really interesting. For some of you, this is going to be very sudden. And for others of you, it's just going to be like, yeah, okay, I'm still moving forward. I'm still going in the right track. So the Three of Wands and all of its comforts, there's a little cat sitting next to it, a companion. So even though you're still sometimes in your world that's familiar and comfortable to you, you're willing to step forward. Now, on the other side, we have the Hermit, who is the seeker, but he's also the teacher. He's our inner guidance towards that higher place, that connection, not only to the intuition, but to that higher knowledge. And I just feel like they're seeking each other. It's like he's seeking a student, he's seeking the connection of a student, and she's seeking the connection of a teacher or that higher space, that higher energy. And they're trying to get to each other. They're really both looking for each other. So then what about this temperance in the middle? So the temperance is talking about understanding that these two energies can't stay separate for all of this to work. The higher and the lower self, the ego and the higher self, how else can we put it? The soul and the personality, all of that has to blend together. They have to learn how to work with each other so that they're not fighting each other. Sometimes we think when we're on the spiritual journey and we are suddenly waking up to how ridiculous our egos can be, how strong our negative conditioning and strong our negative patterns can be. And sometimes it's just like you want to just destroy it or get rid of it and cut it off. And you almost just want to kind of get rid of your ego, get rid of your personal desires, because it just all seems connected to something so low. It's almost like you want to forget about yourself so that you can merge with something higher. Now, that would be nice, but that's not the point of life down here. The point of life down here is the merging of the soul as well as the higher energy, the higher space. You can't just be in the higher space and in the soul. That's kind of the same thing. We can't keep them separate. We can't keep them in their different spheres, jumping over to one or the other when it's convenient. So this is really a big radical shift, because the temperance in the middle is asking you to consider, what changes do I have to make to my lifestyle so that this can happen? So use a silly example. If you're someone who loves to meditate in the morning, but you also like to stay up really late watching stuff that isn't good for you or eating food that isn't good for you, so that by the time you get to your meditation, you're too tired or you're too exhausted or you have that really heavy, almost hungover feeling, that's not going to work. The meditation is the time when your earthly self is connecting to your spiritual self, your higher self. And because you haven't respected the space for that, that connection can't happen. It also can't be like, sometimes, and no one's perfect, so I'm also laughing at myself here. Sometimes we receive the most profound information from source or from spirit, and we use it to help others. And then 5 minutes later, we're either gossiping or we're in a drama or we're doing something negative or we're looking at something on social media that we shouldn't be giving our energy to. So it's asking you to be consistent, it's asking you to have integrity, and it's asking you to bring together that higher and lower self. If you want to think about it a little less esoterically, it's positive and negative. It's asking you to really look for the ways to blend these two things together. So I'm not saying like you can't enjoy life. I'm not saying you have to be a nun or a saint or lock yourself away in a room and deny yourself every kind of pleasure. Like, that's not the point, because the soul also takes pleasure from human experiences. We're here to experience positive and negative, but we're also here to choose our positive, our higher self. And that's the point. That's really the point, is that we have a choice. You don't have to choose your higher self, but we're given the free will to choose. And I feel like with all that's going on here, with these two highly supportive Empress and High Priestess, you're giving so much support because of a choice that you've already made. You've already decided that you really want this higher spiritual or more positive way of doing life. And all of this is showing up to support you and to help you get there. So I'm so excited about this. Like I told you, this reading is so beautiful for me. And I just love all of the cards in it. So I really hope that this is clear. So let me just summarize again. We have the earthly self, the personality. We've got the higher self, the soul that is connected to source. The two are seeking each other. And in this life, you're trying to figure out how to blend them and how to make space for both of them in the most positive way possible, so that when the soul integrates with the ego, when the earth self interacts with the higher self, you have alignment between the two, and you have authenticity, you have your power, you have integrity with yourself, and it's almost like the journey is done because you realize that the whole thing you've been seeking has been with you all along, but learning how to navigate and bring the two into balance with each other, the journey was the point. So it doesn't matter that it was there, it's that the journey is what gave your soul the burst of knowledge, the inspiration. And that's the kind of stuff that helps you resolve your karma in this lifetime and ascend to the next level for your next lifetime. So you don't have to go through the same insert expletive again. Okay? So if you've got questions about this, please reach out in the comments below. I know your message was a little bit high and out there this week, but I really hope it gave you enough practical, grounded information as well. So if you're interested in a more specific reading for you, what does Spirit want to say to you specifically, I am offering readings over Zoom, and you can find out more on my website, trueguidance.tarot.com. There's also links in the description below. And if you are interested in learning more about the tarot and how to read very intuitively, I'm offering online classes, and you are more than welcome to join. You don't have to commit to a certain number of classes. It's very come as you feel compelled to. So just wanted to put that out there for you, and I wish you the best week, and I'll see you next time.